Hey, how are you doing? Do you feel rested? Do you feel relaxed, calm? Sometimes we feel like that, but sometimes we don't. And I myself have been thinking about how can I get myself at a place of rest and calm all the time. And I know you might be thinking and saying, Rachel, you are crazy. There is no way you can be calm and at peace all times. Haven't you seen what is going on in the world? Haven't you seen there's so much chaos, there's so much pressure, there's so much pain in the world? How do you even talk about calm, peace in this world? I have been thinking about this and I'm like, wait a minute. Is it possible for one to be at peace, to be at calm, and enjoy this life that we have? And the answer was in between. And probably you're in between as well, or you are the place where you're saying it's impossible, very impossible for you to be at that place. I was doing dishes recently and something dropped into my mind. And I can't wait to share with you this that came to my mind while I was doing dishes. Guys, doing dishes. This is when this idea dropped into my mind. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So there is something beautiful that we as humans are missing out on. And yet, right from the very beginning of life, many of you have heard where they instruct us to do what we love. You are to do what you love in your career, in your everything. But is that what life calls us for? Does life call us to do things that we like? Sometimes we do things and we don't like them. Like you have bills to pay, you have responsibility to take on, you have things to do. And I don't think that's something you want to do, but yet you are called to do those things with love, with rest, with calm, with peace. It is very, very impossible to settle those two things. But while I was washing dishes and thinking about these things, I was reminded that the reason as to why the world tells you to do the things that you love to do, it is because there is something they are tapping into. What is that? That is what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to dive deep into this whole concept. Do what you love. But we've also realized that there are things we do and we'd not love to do them. And so we find those to be a point of, disturbance, chaos, a point where we don't feel like we are resting, we are doing from love. And so we are going to understand how we can balance the things that we don't like to do and also the things that we enjoy to do. So I have been reflecting about this concept while I was doing dishes. This is what came to my mind. The world is teaching us to do what we love. Pause it right there. Doing what you love. And so for them, they're saying that when you tap into what you love to do, that means you are going to endure things. That means you're going to work at it longer. That means you are going to give it your very best in everything that you are doing. And so I paused for that moment and I asked, so if the world is teaching us to do the things that we love to do, that means there is something that they are tapping into that they would like for you to be able to do from your very best, from your rest place, from your love place, so that you can serve in that area for a longer time, but also yourself having the satisfaction that fills from within. And so as I deliberated on that, as I thought about these things, I started to imagine, how about we invited love and rest for everything that we do, not dependent on the things that we love to do, but everything that we put our hand to do. And so think that with me, think about it with me, and imagine yourself doing the things that you do and how you are doing them. Is there endurance? Is there love? Is there connection? Is there that place of peace and rest? And of course, as I thought about it, it seemed unthinkable. It seemed like that is something that is not, something that the world can understand. But as I also kept on thinking about it, I realized it makes a lot of sense. The reason as why the world is telling us to do the things we love, because there is a lot of endurance, there is a lot of there is a lot of peace and rest that you are inviting on your side as you are doing these things. So I paused and thought about it. And I asked myself, how do I bring love to everything that I am doing? And so for me, it wasn't for the things that I love doing, but bringing love to all the things that I do. Because again, as you know it, there are things that come into our lives that we don't even want to do, but we have to do them. And of course, mature people have already thought about it, and they have opened themselves to a space of love, to a space of rest, to a space of connection. I'll tell you a story. So there is this day, I was very exhausted. I was heading back home, and this time round, I was late. And all I wanted is to go home and rest. I don't know if you catch that feeling. The times where you have badly wanted to go back home and sleep or chill, rest, watch a movie or do whatever. What do you do in your rest time? The time that you really look forward to, more so at home. Some of you have it written, sweet home, home, sweet home, because that's the place where you unwind and chill. Now, that day I was on my way home and I realized I was late for home, but also very exhausted. My mind was exhausted and tired. I just wanted to fall and sleep. Guess what? I reach home and they tell me my daughter is sick. Literally, with all that tiredness of the mind and the body, I had to get up and take her to the hospital. So on the way to the hospital, something magical happened. And this is why I would like for you to listen to this, because something very magical happened while I was going to the hospital. So immediately I started to think, so Rachel, what is that you so much badly want to do at home? What is that you want to do? And I told myself, so some of us have it recorded in our mind that home is rest. When I get home, I can rest. But at that moment, I challenged myself, what is that you want to do at home now that you can't do here? And of course, as I thought about it deeply, there wasn't anything specific. It was actually about my mind. My mind was not tuned to rest. And so I thought about it and I realized sometimes we deny ourselves the ability to enjoy that rest, to enjoy that peace in that moment, because we are carrying a false mind around, the spaces we have attached as places of rest. And so as I went, I decided in my heart that whereas it is 10 p.m. at night, I am going to take her to hospital, but I am going to do it with utmost peace and put in the best music that I want to listen to and be able to do that with joy, with peace, with all this rest and calm. My goodness, that night was different. I was taking her to hospital, but it looked very calm. It looked very, very, restful. It looked very good. I actually imagined if I could only carry that kind of mind, that kind of rest, that kind of peace in wherever I am going, in whatever I am doing, I can imagine how my life would be. And so as I caught on this, I said, how much have we attached to the spaces, to the things that we think are rest, and we have denied ourselves the ability to see the rest that is readily available? At that moment, I realized it is my heart and my space where peace and rest lies. Not in the different places. Some of us have thought of vacations, we have thought of our home, we have attached rest to different things. That if I am doing this particular thing, then I will be at rest. If I only had this money, then I would be at rest. If I only had this car, I would be at rest. This dream house, I would be at rest. I would be at peace. alas, it travels with you in your heart, in your mind. And so I want us to invite us to that place, to that space whereby it's not attached to anything. We are carrying it with us. After all, for the believers, for my Christians who are here, Christ lives in us and we travel. His presence is with us all the time. He is our peacemaker. He is the one who gives us the peace, the rest. Come to me and I'll give you rest, he says. And so I was challenged in that moment to invite rest, to invite peace in everything that I am doing. And so going back to this that we've been talking about, loving, doing what you love, and versus enjoying whatever you are doing. Yeah? I know that our career guidance has done something along the path. We have been told certain things. We have been constantly challenged. If you are talking to someone and telling them, I dream to do this, I dream to do that, the question that follows from that individual who is listening to you is, do you love what you do? I have also seen other people who have adjusted and said, I do not care whether I love what I do for as long as I am able to get money. There is that category as well. And so if you are going to do things because of whether you love to do that thing, I imagine also the Christian walk of life, they challenge us to do things that are out of our desire. The things like love your enemy. My goodness, that is not something that comes easy. That is something that is hard. It is something that you wouldn't love to do. But you are challenged to do that because, again, these things, when we do them, there is something that they add to our lives. You can't help but rejoice because there is something that has been added as a result of you sacrificing, as a result of you giving, as a result of you doing things out of your will, out of that nature that you would have been, out of that like you don't want to do it, but you're doing it anyway. And some people call it discipline. They call it going out there and doing what is beyond, what is above. That is being able to stand out and be able to do this that you would otherwise not do. You don't love to do it, but you're doing it anyway. Leave alone what the world has told us that we should do the things that we love to do. The question is, if you don't love to do it, what happens? And yet it is a good thing to do. It is something that we love to do so that the world can change, regardless of how we feel in the process of doing it. And so I would like to challenge us to embrace love, to embrace, care for everything that we are doing. Let's challenge ourselves. One of the things that I am doing is being able to ask myself the question. So if I can't find a genuine reason as to why I am doing it, and therefore I am missing the element of love in it, the question is then, what would Jesus do? Like, what is that the Bible says for you as a Christian to do? And so that sobers me up, that I am forgiving, not because I love to do it, but because there is benefit to it. The Bible already has said that if you forgive, then you will also be forgiven. And so you're tapping into a higher calling, a higher power to be able to arrive at that place. So you have a reason behind that you're doing. It's not because you love, but because there is a reason behind you doing it. And most of the times, allow me to remind us that most of the times, we actually forget. We forget that there is a good, big thing that is coming as a result of us doing. And therefore, we do not do. We only desire for that we love to do. And we are able to push on and do that thing because we are loving it. We are enjoying it. It is fulfilling us. But yet, if you had a reason behind doing it, behind doing a thing that you do not want, a reason for doing something that you naturally you would not want to do, then that means you'll be compelled to do even more big things, things that everyone will look at and say, how did you do that? It's because you have found a reason. The question is, why? Why are you doing it? If you are sacrificing, why are you doing it? Then it will become a place for you to tap in, a place for you to act from, a place for you to be encouraged to do, so that you do not be able to wear down. Because most times, if we are working from a place where we are pushing against what we love, like for example, if you're doing something and you don't love it, and you are pushing without reason, you are trying. I usually tell people when I'm interacting with them that if you are striving so hard to do the right thing and it is not coming out, like you're literally struggling. Have you had people who say different statements whereby you have probably annoyed them and they are finding a way to conceal, but then they reach a moment and they can't conceal anymore? They burst out. They burst out as a result of what is going on and what they have bottled up. I call it swimming in beneath the water without breathing. And so you suffocate. You can't live longer. That goodness is short-lived. And yet we are calling ourselves to doing good without wearing, to doing good without giving up. Because again, as Christians, we've been called to continue to do good and not to wear in doing good, because then our reward awaits. And so having heard about that, having known that, having the knowledge that we are working for a reward. And so that challenges us to plug into the why and be able to awaken ourselves to that place of action, to that place where we are constantly doing, so that we are not just doing what we love, but also doing what we do not love, and yet it has a pay or it has a reward at the end of it. Now, let me tell you about something else, something that is very interesting, because again, we are doing life and we chose this journey to be able to do life together. And so we are continuing on to learn and unlearn certain things that we have been able to learn. From day one, while I was, at school, interacting with different people, they have always told me that there is a definition of rest. There is a definition of you being at peace. And so I've been able to kind of internalize all these things and reflect on them and see what exactly do they mean. That if one is having a vacation, that's when they have rest, that's when they have peace, that's when they're able to enjoy. I've also seen people who have gone for vacations and they have come back very exhausted, like very exhausted. So the question is, you are from vacation. Why are you tired? Why are you exhausted? Why are you feeling like it was a waste of time, a waste of resources? And that just affirms the fact that it is the heart, the state of your mind, the state of your heart. We need to carry rest with us. We need to carry peace with us. And so as I thought about these things, I challenged myself, but I also realized it is a journey, because unlearning something that you learned 20 years ago, my goodness, some of these have been able to rub deep in our hearts and in our minds that it is hard for us to undo. But we are going to take a step and try to invite rest in everything that we are doing. I started to talk to a friend of mine and I told her about having rest in everything. I was like, Rachel, that's impossible. Like, you are talking about rest, talking about peace. I am so overwhelmed by this concept, because I believe we are working so hard for the future that never comes, for the future that we are all waiting for. In fact, tomorrow never arrives. And so thinking about that, I'm challenged, and I hope you are challenged too, that even as you are doing everything that you are doing, you are challenging yourself to bring yourself to that place where you are inviting it. Now, I know the world is going to call a lot from you, and that is for sure. And so it serves for you to be able to ask yourself, am I doing this from a place of rest? I was interacting with one of the wealthy people in the world, and guess what they told me? They told me that every person, even including yourself, you are looking for someone to be as genuine and as free as they can be. You are looking for no pretense. You are looking for no performance. You are actually looking for authenticity, for someone to come out and be as real as they can. Isn't that what we are looking for? Are we looking for fake people here? Or we are looking for people who are living their life at the truest, at the place where we are seeing them for who they are? That's what we want. And so he was telling me that that's what people are looking for. Tell me, is that true? Is that what you are looking for in people? Is that what you're looking for as you're interacting with people? You're looking for authenticity. You're looking for a genuine heart. You are looking for someone being real. And that does not come from show, from pretense, from, being tensed up, from pressure. And so pressure just communicates that you're trying to put out something that is not real. You are trying to put up something that is so much like performance, that is so much like, you are trying so much. You are calling a lot from yourself. And so that steals the joy. That steals the peace. And, thinking about it, we are our worst critics. We want the best out of us, but we also want it in a way that is not that is not real. And yet the world or the people also want real. And so thinking about it, it has really been very disturbing. It has been like going against what you have been told. You've been told the world is looking for perfection. Haven't we been told that as well? Like the world is looking for perfection. And so as you are preparing for something, you're busy rehearsing, you are going there to speak it, and you're going there to polish your English, to polish that, to polish that. These are like two conflicting places that one can be. They are telling you to be real, but they're also telling you to be who you are. I would like to tell you that I have arrived at a place where I realize people want you for who you are, the real you. And think about it. Don't our friends, the people we call friends, the people who we remember in every moment of our lives that the professional world may not see, and those are the people who have seen us real. Those are the people who have seen us real. They have seen our bad, our good. They have seen us at our best. They have seen us be us. Like being those shorts, being those t-shirts, eat popcorn, joke. Like those are the people who we call friends, who we call dear to heart. Wait a minute. So who are people loving right now? And those are the people who are being real. The people who are being, the best that they can be in terms of them, not in terms of performance, in terms of fake. And so as I thought about that, I'm trying to unwind from my mind, trying to work it out. Rachel, you just have to be you. You just have to live you. You just have to be that you have been called to be as an individual, and nothing like performance. And so think about it and see how it will apply to your life, and how you are going to have a lot of work, just like I have realized, to undo some of these things that we have learned, some of these things that we have been able to take on, and we are living by them, and they're taking away the peace, taking away the joy. Like we show up with so much tense. For the days where I have felt overwhelmed in my day of work, I have always recalled this truth, and I asked myself, what is the most important thing right now? What is that? And I challenge myself to name it. If I can name it, then I have brought myself to a place where I can know whether it is worth it or not. But the ultimate reason, for your living, for my living, it is to glorify the Lord. And what is the Lord calling? Is he calling for perfection? No, he is not calling for perfection from you and I. And so why the pressure? Why the stress on us? Let us enjoy this life that we have. Let us enjoy what the Lord has already given. After all, He is not asking for you to be perfect. He is not asking for you to do, like for you to go out and have a lot of pressure because you need to be able to have this, to have that, to be able to reach this place where you are at rest, where you are at peace. Rest starts with you, because the presence of the Lord is with you. Do we need vacations? Is it something that we actually need? Is it something that gives us rest? Or is it some sort of activity that we do? And considering the things that we draw rest from, some people think vacation is the place to draw rest from. Some people think, going home and chilling and watching a movie, I draw my rest from there. I would like for us to be able to internalize this and define what brings you rest, and dig deep and realize what is that comes as a result of you giving yourself to that activity that you are doing. And you realize there are some things that you are enjoying or you are calling a source of rest, a source of refreshment. And yet you can carry that same feeling to everything, as helping people, as being present with people, as, sacrificing for people. And that is something that you can carry with the other people. I have been able to dream of that. I have dreamed to carry rest with me. I talk to people about it and they can't just believe it. But I can imagine the amount of fulfillment that one can have if they are carrying rest with them. After all, we have Christ with us. It's the same idea that I had when I had just gotten married. I told myself, I want my space to be serving me, my home to be serving me. I don't have to be on a date somewhere for me to feel love, for me to feel connection, for me to feel like, wow, I'm in this space. Some of us have attached outside spaces, restaurants, hotels, these nice places where we go to refresh. Some of us have attached them to be places of refreshment, places of rest, places of connection, places of love. But how about you as a person can make your home the space from which you draw from? And so as I imagine those two places, and indeed we have tried it as a family and it has worked. We don't have to be going out all the time. Can we make our space a nurturing space, a loving space, a space where we can be able to connect with each other in love? And so as I thought about those, I realized it's actually very possible for us to also, in this aspect, invite rest in everything that we are doing, so that we can enjoy. And I realize it's also because we have not been able to understand the concept of rest. And I also realize it's because we have not been able to understand the concept of rest and connection. And so I want to challenge you. What is your definition of rest? What is your definition of calm? What is your definition of, being in a space where you're feeling peace, you're feeling love, you're feeling rest in your life? I have interacted with people constantly, and they have mentioned different things. And yet, when those things are disrupted, let's say some of you are saying, home is my place, home is my space. Like, I want to be able to rest from there. I understand, but how about if you found something that is disturbing at home? Like, you have entered home and you find something that is putting you off. That means you are going to be, your peace is going to be distorted. After all, you were hoping to find it at home. Let me ask you a question. So when you are thinking about home as rest, are you looking at home as, this place that is giving you peace? Are you looking at the couch that you are resting on and feeling, rested? What is that you can name and say, this is what is giving me rest? And as I sat down to name it, I couldn't see it. And that's where I came to a conclusion. We travel with the peace. We bring it in the spaces that we go. We bring it to the meetings that we attend. We bring it to the conversations that we have. We bring it to our nurturing, to everything that we are called to do. We bring it wherever. And so it's a big, big, big challenge to us. I know different people are speaking about it differently. The world is speaking about it differently. But you can choose what is working for you. I have realized over time that we have to journey with our peace. When you meet someone who is at calm, at peace, how do you feel? You feel at rest as well. It's like it rubs on you. You want to find out what is their understanding about life. You want to find out what is that is making them feel the way they feel. And in most cases, you realize it's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about the dream car, dream house. It's not about all these things. Because again, we have seen people who have the money, who have the houses, who have everything, and yet their life is in chaos. It is in chaos. They have this big house. Like, how is someone with a big house able to live a life that is miserable? Like, those two to you or to some people may not add up, because there is a certain definition of rest, a certain definition of peace that has to arrive the moment you have those things. Alas, we need to be able to invite this to be a part of our life, to be a part of each and every day that we walk. It is now my prayer as well for you who is a part of this channel to be able to connect, to be able to tap into the high calling, this rest that we have freely received, that we will walk into it, that we will know that this is not a journey for us. It is a journey for Christ. And therefore, He gives us the rest. He gives us the peace. He gives us the ability to live on, to enjoy this life that we have lived. And so as I look back, I realize there are things that we are concerned about. There are things that we are looking forward for. There are things that we would like to see in our lives. There are things that we love to do, but also things that we not love to do. May we reconcile all that and allow peace, allow us to shine, allow us to bring glory to the Lord. And until then, I want to urge you to keep stewarding your purpose, because it is very, very important. And the Lord is cheering you on. He sees us. He is with us, and He is helping us each day. And until then, well, keep stewarding that purpose.